Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the ZRacing Series. We're on stage number 4 for October. ZRacing is a monthly series that Zwift puts on a set of courses throughout the month for introductions as well as quick, short, but punchy, usually racing. It is Race Watopia, a lot of the classic courses today. It is Volcano Circuit counterclockwise, the CCW. In pre-productions, I found out, for a long time, I had no idea what CCW meant as well. Like, I think for my first year of broadcasting these specifically, maybe more, I saw the CCW and it didn't click or something, and then finally somebody was like counterclockwise, and it okay, that's what it means. So anyway,
that literally just happened for me from you. So you're passing that baton. I was sitting there the whole time wondering, what could CCW be? And at 58 years old, I'm amazed it took me this long to learn that, Nathan.
Anyways, we won't go too deep into that one.
And what's even funnier to me, Nathan, is that it's kind of a moot point too when you look at the profile of the course. If you're going clockwise or counterclockwise, I don't know that the racing result would be that different.
That is true. That is true. It just has more to do with the tactics you'll use. And this is a very tactical course. The B's and the C's are out on course. We'll be covering the B's and the C's. Let's go ahead and take a quick little look at how things kicked off for the B category. The way that they got going was fast and furious from the get-go in the pens, actually. If we take a real quick look, let's see if we can get these going here. But yeah, right from the get-go,
over 100 riders, Nathan, in the B's and C's.
Look at this. I mean, they're just come flying out of here. So 108 starters in the B category, absolutely killing it. There's also going to be 137 riders in the C category. So massive amount of riders. There were a couple of attacks early on. As you can see, everybody's throwing down their feathers and burritos. I believe there's also some ghost power-ups that are in here. As the B's headed out, though, it was led out by E. Shaw. A-Self from ESRT. Stelling is there as well as Molinari from Jet. As you can see, it's going to be Blues Browser there making a move toward the front. Strung it out a little bit more as they headed into the Volcano. Was an attachment toward the back end of this here, Dave, so it looks like things coming back together for maybe, I think there's going to be 100 plus in the main peloton.
Yeah, so I did want to shout out Sarah Roach. Nathan, this is an open race, so you're going to see a majority of the riders are going to be men, but Sarah up here in the mix for the Synergy Esports team. So good on you, Sarah. Always want to highlight the riders that are exceptional out here. So it's going to be 4 laps today, Nathan, as a highly selective course, I would say, that we have racers make the race. And I have to say, with these kind of numbers, the flags that I'm seeing are almost, it seems like pretty close to 85% are coming from Northern Europe right now, which means that these athletes are doing this at the end of their work or school day. So that's even more impressive to see so many folks getting their Zwift racing in. This series is extremely cool in that you get multiple opportunities to post your best time throughout the week. But if you get in a group like this, Nathan, I'd expect you're not going to do better as long as they want to race like they are. To tell you the truth, this should be a very, very quick group, if not the quickest of the week.
Yeah, a lot of times it is the quickest of the week when it comes to these Mondays. It gets going pretty fast. So, but as we do see here, Vikings making a little bit of move here with Zeshu. It's going to be Molinari right on the wheel. We do have some common hitters toward the front here. Esteban Rouge is there as well from Team NL. Now, a quick little look at this course. If you're newer to Zwift Racing and you're wondering what's happening with the CCW course, it is a 2-tier climb each lap. As you can see on the right-hand side, if you were coming through here on the Volcano Circuit, one of the cool things about the Volcano Circuit is you do get a lap counter every time that you come through. Essentially, call this a circuit race then, Dave, on this, sure. About, I think we do this on the A's, like 5-minute circuit or so each time that we go around, 5 to 6 minutes if we're going full gas. Lots of, interesting that people are using ghosts immediately as they come through, essentially saying, look, I don't really care about this power. Yeah. But were those used right before they hit the banner, perhaps? That might also be some of those. But see some burritos being popped here, ghost, as well as feathers. Now, one thing about this, people be like, wait, how am I seeing those ghosts here, as you can see the people using ghosts. It is a broadcast build. If you're wondering, you will not see those ghosts in game because that wouldn't make any sense, Dave, as people are supposed to disappear when they use the ghost power up.
It really defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? The burrito out here, they're being used as well. And if they're using their burrito right there, all they're really doing is slightly inconveniencing the riders around them for a moment, right? Not a hugely disruptive power up at that point. We've seen it can be, but it's got to be a coordinated effort, to tell you the truth, I'd say, with the burritos. A few teammates in the right place at the right time. Is that fair to say, Nathan, that the burrito works, but you can't just you can't just fire it off and expect it to do big damage. You got to plan it and really tactically execute it perfectly.
You got to plan it really well. And I think a good example of when you could use the burrito, if you look at the C category right now and what's happening with Ursman, is like, do you see how he kind of pressed the pace a little bit on the front there and there was a little separation starting to happen? I would say it's during those extended efforts where you know you're making somebody suffer. A lot of time I see somebody, I'm going to use the burrito and no one's going to grab my wheel, and like they jump really hard, and then like everybody can just jump really hard for like, I don't know, a couple of seconds.
Now,
you know what I mean?
15
seconds or whatever. But then if you get into a situation where you kind of get the feeling that people are struggling to hold the wheel right now because we have 2 or 3 out the front. There's only so many wheels to grab, and you're kind of in an extended effort. At that point, that is when that the burrito is going to do the most damage. That's for sure.
So, Nathan, see athletes just moving through this group right now. That's sort of the avalanche effect that's going to keep the speed high in this group. Well, and they are keeping it. You can really tell, not by the front end of the field. Look at the tail end of this group. There's a lot of riders taking on water like the Titanic right now as they try to get themselves back up into this group here. So they're flat out flying. 137 starters. This is the C's that we're with right now, taking a look at a group that's absolutely in this. I'm not surprised that Monday, Nathan, is the day where riders come in really focused on riding with the group like this. The broadcast effect is real too. There's no doubt about it. Like De Felici right now here on the front. Morini, to the Italians, definitely in full effect. As I see, it's really amazing how international, but European the flags are, although I did just see a Mexico flag flash by. Always good to see out there.
A little bit of attack coming in the B category. They're into their next lap here. And in the B category, we continue to see Pearson and a few others. This is a good place to make a move as well. Speed and using almost like a roller coaster like effect as you come off of the volcano. A lot of times, I mean, these attacks went a little bit early. So when it comes to attacking in a bike race, Dave, it's about energy reserves and how much you have for a certain period of time, and whether or not that's going to actually benefit you in any kind of way, or if you're going to run out of energy too quickly. So the timing there, and the way that they timed this attack, there was a couple that went off the front through the little bump of a climb that exits the volcano into the 2-tier downhill, which now goes into a 2-tier uphill here. But the downhill section, see if I can get actually a little bit of a replay of it in just a moment here. But it's really interesting that for me, that the roll through of the speed and the way that you use that speed, how incredibly important it is that the timing of that is essentially perfect. And this is going to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. These riders are already off the front coming into the downhill. Oh, well, we actually are going to jump around a little bit. There we go. So they're already off the front here. 2 riders, but they've used about probably 30 seconds of energy, which is their main burst of energy, really, is that first little bit of 30 seconds, right? Well, if you would have used that the moment you rolled through the pack, from the back of the pack till now as the pack slowed down, that 30 seconds of energy would actually gain you so much more advantage over the rest of the pack. And then the continuance moment would kick in where maybe not your 30-second power, but your 5 minutes starts to kick in. Is what I'm saying? Does that jive with you there, Dave?
Absolutely, Nathan. And I really appreciate what you're doing there is explaining to me what Zwiftcraft is. To tell you the truth, that's exactly what ZwiftCraft is. That does apply in real life too. But very well said. Makes complete sense as we look at them now out on the second of 4 laps today. So Shu's been very, very strong, to tell you the truth. This is the Bs that we're taking a look at now. They're really almost up on the middle part of this race. You see all of those ghosts. Certainly the cutest of the power-ups.
Ghost is. Yeah. Looking at the situation now, though, Dave, I'm not like watching this from the get-go. I was wondering if we're going to get separation. If there's going to be separation so far amongst the two races we're watching, it is this race. I think we're going to see it because there's been such an incessant number of attacks over and over again in this B category. Pearson, Alkvist, and Bjornhall, all Swedish riders, really. I mean, look at all the Swedish flags actually here, Dave. There are so many Swedes in this group.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was Wednesday for a minute, and we were doing SZR, right? So, I mean, typically on those days, you'll see a quarter of the flags would be Swedish, and then a lot of Finnish, Norwegian, and Danish as we take a look. But Nathan, your point is solid here. With these guys, I mean, there's not going, in my mind, there's not going to be an attack that stays away today, but this relentless activity at the front just keeps the speed incredibly high for these guys. As you see always on the front, it's around 4.1, 4.2 watts per kilo, kind of depending on the energy of the moment. But now we are starting to see some riders rolling off of the front. I'm wondering, Nathan, is there any kind of a discussion when you're in getting ready to come out of the pen before you spawn about guys, a tactic for our group today? Because again, the time that you take, your GC time, will be stacked up. This is stage 4 of Race Watopia right now, Nathan. So odds are pretty good. You're going to have around 30, 40 riders within a few seconds of each other after the first 3 stages of racing. Remembering that if you had a bad ride or a time you weren't happy with, you can always come back and go for it again out here throughout the week. It's one of the unique things about the Tour of Watopia, or Race Watopia.
Yeah, and looking at the current results, the best time, we're actually seeing a little chat coming through. Best time right now to beat for the Bees is a 28:40. 28:40. We're currently sitting right around that 14:24. So about halfway through 28:40. They could do it. I mean, this is about the halfway point, and there's plenty of riders here. Being Monday, it's going to be the first go at it, so it's going to usually set the main precedent. So we'll see if they can make it happen. Perhaps, Dave, the reason why we see so many toward the front end of this pack is exactly what you're saying. And it's not so much about making attacks. Now, I did see a couple of riders give it a go that looked like obvious attacks. But from what it seems like here to me, Dave, this group is kind of working together, but they're going to need to string this out a little bit here. TT mode, I'm hearing from Jet. So there is some chatter in game right now saying, guys, we're working together to get the best time.
Hey, I wanted to thank Dwayne and RT for chiming in here. Normally, Nathan, I kind of stopped watching the comments for a while, but if they're going to be as cool as this, I'm back in for sure. So definitely appreciate that. That, as you're mentioning, RT said 28:40. I have to think this group's going to go inside of that. But he said it was super spicy out there. And RT sounds like he knows what he's talking about, Nathan.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to keep an eye on it here, Dave, and see
or
where
she,
it does end
actually.
up.
How do I know?
Call. That's a good call. Race Watopia right now amongst the A category, the total. Now I'm going to just give you guys a quick little look at this here over on ZwiftPower.com. This is going to give you a good idea of exactly what we're talking about. If you head on over there, and if you're unfamiliar with ZRacing, it's your first time checking it out here, you just happen to find the broadcast through ZwiftPower because we do link it there. We do see Race Watopia here under leagues. You click on that like I just did. It will bring up the leagues, and you can search it for all. You can search it for B, A, B, C, D, and, well, there is no, well, it looks like there's E here as well. I'm not exactly sure what E. I got to figure that one out. It looks like only one event in the E so far, so I'm probably not the one you're looking for. But current times right now, at the top of the D's, Paul Drury. In the top of the C's, it's going to be Jean-Francois Cole from Foudre. And then big time difference in Martin Holm there.
So Martin, just looking at that. Yeah, thanks for the tutorial, Nathan. Martin Horton then has already raced today. The GC time is so the yellow jersey, actually I'm going to use red jersey after seeing Sepp in it the other day, 1:56:13. is the GC leader. And that's actually a pretty significant advantage. We'll see what happens out here with this group, because there's a lot of names in the race on the front, Nathan, that I don't see here because they haven't put their fourth event up on the board yet.
Yeah,
they're
100%.
in it right now.
We'll see. Exactly. So we'll see how that goes. And then as far as the time goes for the best time for this specific event, that's what that was being talked about there, is that this specific event, we see the best
at 28:40.
At
Exactly. I'm
28:40,
sorry.
so.
I was unclear there. 1:56:13 is including the fourth stage in Race Watopia for Martin Horton here. These guys have done 3 stages, and that 28:40 was stage 4 time, fast time of the day that we got there. So, all right, Nathan, 11.6K in as we take a look at 2 front groups that are both what I would call greatly reduced.
Yeah, and here we go with the B category with Pearson, AAC. Now, sitting in pretty, 150 beats per minute. Some of these riders are pretty calm on the heart rates. Interesting enough. Oberg, AAC. So, amongst the ladies, Dave, you said you saw a few out there.
Sarah Roach.
Sarah Roach in the B category, is it? Or is
Correct.
it the C category?
Yes, sir.
I wonder if she's be able to make it to the...
It's going to be a big ask, the way these guys have been racing. If Sarah's there, full respect either way. But if she's made this group, ooh la la.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find her out there. I'm taking a look through the rider list. And I'm wondering, because I keep on seeing a couple of hints of perhaps a couple of ladies in this pack. So we're trying to get an idea. Little attack here. Pearson just continues to press this pace over and over again.
Yeah, so, Burns. When you look at it, it's the Swedish group right here that have been so strong. So they've already now taken this down to about 7K of racing left. Yeah, they can do it. They can get inside of 28:40 here. Just keep pushing, putting new riders, fresh horses on the front.
Yeah, and it looks to me like they are actually in a mode that they are, from what I'm
seeing
here,
they're not attacking each other, are they?
They're definitely not attacking each other. To me, it looks like they have created some sort of agreement almost at this point with the way that they are riding this. There isn't really...
It really looks like a 60-rider team time trial.
This looks like almost team time trial mode. So...
this is what you try to avoid if that's the case. And you know what? You get 60 people together on planet Earth now. There's no way all 60 are going to be in alignment. There's going to be that guy, as they say. Segerholm right now attacking out of this. And to be fair, racing is racing. Right? If you don't have to follow along with the peloton's plan, but typically the peloton usually wins these conversations, don't they? And that's going to bring Segerholm right back into the group now as they go back into full gas mode. Well, they've been full gas mode all day, but this is what we're looking for, right, Nathan? At the front here, this shows us that this is a peloton at full tilt boogie.
Yes, RT now making some moves forward. Dave, what's the total kilometers on this? It's not going to be a whole lot. I mean, we're looking at 21.3. They're already within 6K at this point.
And at the speed they're carrying here, they're...
Yeah, so what do you think? I mean, how long is it going to take them to do 6K usually, Dave? You're usually better at the math on these than I am.
Minute 20 seconds. I mean, per K. I think it's fair. On this course, right? I mean, so they're hitting 52 kilometers per hour. So obviously at 60 kph, you're doing a kilometer per minute. They're under that, but not by that much. And they've never
close,
the speed.
It's going to be really
it's gonna be
close.
I think it'll be within 10 seconds. But I see that. Yeah, this is fun. This is real. They should make junior high or elementary school kids do these predictions because
them.
It's so.
I thought you were going to make them race
really have
this.
To think,
it's way cooler than
train A and train. Yeah.
We should make kids race Zwift. Put them in the gym. That's what I thought. I was like,
actually, I don't think that's an impossibility.
No, it's not. It's no. It'd be great actually if we had Zwift gym class. That'd be absolutely amazing. I was just picturing.
Can you imagine? There will be a time when the cooler schools around the world have Zwift rooms and kids can go Zwift during the day. I'm
like
sure
if you have to complete Phi Ed, right? Like how cool would it be if you had Zwift as a part of your Phi Ed program, right? Like here, this is the esports program for Phi Ed. Yes, you get to play Fortnite, but you also get to Zwift. But you have to Zwift if you're a part of it.
For every minute that you want to play Fortnite, you have to ride on Zwift for a minute.
This already exists in my house.
I bet it does. I'm not making up anything new, am I?
No, this is like
so 100% parenting. There's a lot of deal making, much like in a pro tour peloton in parenting. You know, you got to know when to make your stand and when to negotiate. So this is ESRT and Self that we're looking at now. As Nathan, I love it when you see this. This is the B group. They are pinning it now. It's a 4% grade, and they're boogieing along at 35 kph. We're going to go back now and take a look. Well,
we're jumping around. There's so this is how difficult this has been. So I want to explain why that's happening. It gives you an idea of how difficult this course has been.
One to go.
One to go here. It's about 6 minutes. It's going to be right on it. It's going to be right on like 28:40. If they got to do this in a record time for a B category, but they may be able to do maybe not record time, but close to. Those burritos aren't like helping. Those should just be binned. Bin those if you're helping each other out. But maybe they want to drop everybody. Here's the thing, Dave.
No. Thank you for that. Explain that, Nathan, the difference, because they're deploying the burrito, which is hurting the overall group. How do they bin it, just so they could know?
Yeah, so there's an ability in your companion app to just hit the trash button. There's a little trash button.
Use it.
Yeah, you don't actually use it. You actually throw it away, exactly. So you have to look for that little button that looks like a little trash can, and you're able to just get rid of your power-up on your companion app, actually. So, and then you don't need to actually use it, especially if it's a negative effect power up and you don't want that negative effect to maybe affect your teammates or affect somebody that's around you. There's a reason that you wouldn't want to have that deployed, actually.
I have to give Duncan McRae Spencer some credit here. Absolutely dialed in comments. At the end of the month, you sometimes get a mix of people who are still in GC and then others who aren't, right? I'm kind of reading verbatim here from what Duncan was saying. But so there's some people that care about time and there's others that don't. And that, I mean, so if you're a person who doesn't care about time, why even bother binning the burrito, right? But if you're one of the guys here that's racing for time, you're like, hey, do me a favor, please. So, yeah, it's interesting, but a very good point made there, Duncan. Thank you.
Yeah, it is a good point, because there's going to be some who are just sitting on who actually – that's part of the reason why we do this broadcast, is because there's probably some people who have no idea that there's even a GC contention.
GC. They just showed up to race. They found a race. And they said, good,
like, I jump into a lot of races that I just want to work out. And like, I don't even know what's going on in this race. Like, there could be all kinds of GC or whatever. And I'm just looking for a workout today. And this happened to be a good one. It looks like it's a good field. So let's go, boys. You know what I mean? And and I think there's probably plenty of people sitting in who have no idea that they're actually being talked about for their race right now as well. So like, you know, there is those who are just looking to sit in and throw down a sprint, right? And then there's those who are 100% invested in this. And some of these guys who are sitting there are like, why is everyone working together? What's going on? Like, it's really fast.
Weird. Yeah. Right. No, completely. And I mean, any peloton you're in, virtual, in real life, there's going to be all kinds of different objectives. You've got guys here racing to set up a sprint. You got other guys that are looking to show off for their new girlfriend. You know what I mean? And it's like, look, you got to understand who's here to do what. And so I love that element of peeling back the layers and understanding the objectives that different racers have. And that's really a skill.
One to go on C, just real quick. Sorry, Dave, just real quick. One to go on C as well. So we will jump in with them. We will jump in with them as ASAP. I just want to watch the final half lap of the Bs, and then we'll jump in with the final 3/4 or half lap of the Cs. Go ahead, Dave.
Beeblebrox. Oh,
yeah,
I thought that was Beetlejuice. It didn't work.
I had to jump in with him, and he actually, I noticed. So Beeblebrox has been a part of the broadcast a lot. Yes, and totally, 100%. Different movie though, right?
Wrong movie. Yeah, right.
Wrong movie. So we're talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy versus Beetlejuice. Those are the two different situations here, but. He actually is a streamer, it looks like. I didn't know until
cool.
recently, or at least a YouTuber. I think he streams and then uploads to YouTube. Not positive, but good to see him back in and amongst the races here. We're heading into it here, Dave. It's a 2-tier sprint. I've known this one really well. It's been used so many times, especially early on in some of the high-end racing. Invisibility power-ups being popped. I think the feather is what it's going to be all about, but we've got somebody on the attack, and that is exactly because he has that invisibility power-up. Nobody can actually see him. We can, but they can't. DN here, New Zealand making a move. Oh, what did he go to? Oh, okay. 9-7, 9-7. Teffy here now making a move, it looks like, and it looks like DN's going to try and get off the front. He's got a little gap.
Yeah, and that was an effective use of the ghost there. Sneaks off. All of a sudden, he pops back on their screen. But I don't know that that's going to be enough as the New Zealanders got a real charge coming behind him. So this is it. Full gas to the finish line. That completes step 1. Step 2 is where you win or lose.
Yep, and here we go. It's going to be a little bit of a flatten out and then a kick to the finish line. It's an uphill sprint at this point, and we've got the chases on. It's going to be Oskarsson. And then it's going to be Sturgelholm coming on through AAC. There's the feather power of coming over the top. It's going to be Stellings. Stellings is right on the wheel. They're waiting for the kick. Teffy comes on through. Teffy's got the burrito, and he doesn't want anybody on his wheel. Osarkson's going, but Teffy's coming with speed. It looks like it's going to be Sue, though, at the last moment, right into the kick. 56 kilometers per hour to the line. Nobody on the wheel, and it is going to be Sue. He's going to make it happen. Molinari right behind, but not able to come through. Then it's going to be Vestberg, followed by Oskarsson from SZ. Self is there as well. 28-25, I think, Dave. I think they did it.
They did it. I believe 15 seconds quicker there, even a little more than the 10. So that was Espen Schuh, Nathan, the Norwegian rider there. That's a fantastic ride. We're back with Beeblebrox now in the seas. So we just had a preview of exactly what these riders are going to be going through now, that 2-tiered sprint, Nathan. And it's on for this group now. A little bit of a different scenario. One rider dangling off of the front right now. That's Janssen, the Dutch rider that we're looking at. Oh, sorry. There,
lapping. Lap
rider there. All right.
Rider. That's so I wanted to say that earlier. This is so difficult, the way that they're riding, how hard they're riding. And there's so many riders that you will run into plenty of backmarked riders, like riders who are just being, they're going to be strewn all over this course. So just as a heads up there to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, again, we did start with 137. If you're going for a fast time out of a group, that is a lot of reliable engines that you can keep swapping out and putting back onto the front. This is going to be Lindqvist that we're looking at.
Is this one of our ladies jumping in with us here?
Heck yeah.
I believe it is. I'm going to try and make sure. We only got a little over a K to go here, but I think Lindqvist is one of our female riders.
I see Alex Spratt getting a lot of love out here. Good luck out there. The Rhino rider. The Rhinos have been in fuego lately, Nathan.
Yeah, Sanna Lindqvist jumping in with us. Great to see Sanna out here with us. We'll see how she goes in the sprint, but she's been taking some solid pulls as well. Definitely been noticing that toward the front, so she's not been scared one bit.
We have a Nigerian rider, Nathan. I think they have the best football kits. I think I'm not alone on that. But racing today, it caught my eye because of the super cool flag. That's Mike Ade out there. Good luck, Mike.
I'm hearing Magnus Wickland thinks that they're going to go faster in the 1 p.m. or my time, in the noon your time. So we'll see. The 1 p.m. is usually pretty fast. Like, I'll have to give him that. We have been covering the noon because of the participation is a little bit higher. Maybe one of these days we'll jump in with the 1 p.m. and just see if we can get them. This is a good move. Invisibility power up, and he went at the right time. He took the speed into the uphill, for the win. And I think he's got it. 10 watts per kilogram. Ross here, nice kick. The German rider, and 199 beats per minute. He's gone, Dave.
He's throwing more coal on the fire as well.
Sprat! Rhino!
The man we were
Dave, he's got a feather power up, and he kicked 12 watts per kilogram over the top of there. And he's coming so fast, and I think he's going to do it.
A rhino bearing down on you is an absolute nightmare. Alex Spratt, Nathan, hero status on lock. That's how you do it. He trusted in his ability, times it right. And Alex Spratt, the people's champion here for RCs. Way to go, Alex.
Nice job. That was very well done. 30-32. Pewter looks like AR Boom's going to take third, followed up by K. Wow. Spratt, what a move. That was insane.
Yikes.
Well, you called it, Dave. You called
I'm
like
feeling good about my night.
Was that you or was that chat? Who called that one? Was that like?
I like to say it was the royal we, Nathan.
Spratt is saying Spratt is Jesus. He says Jesus. Oh man,
Jesus. Hey, good job, Alex. You know, Nathan, I want to shout out the Rhinos. I've had a few messages from riders. I mean, we have always really hoped to create an open line of communication between all of our Zwift community and Nathan and myself. So I love it when you hear from riders supporting their teammates and letting you know, watch out for Alex today. The Rhino community is super strong on Zwift, Nathan, whether it's the RR, Nuclear Rhinos, or whichever team you're on. I really appreciate that group. They've been very
they're
kind.
a great group of riders, and we love to hear from you guys. Like, please always bring the messages in, and you know, it also helps us a lot to identify the teams. Honestly, like it really does. It helps us to put a name to the avatars that are out there and everybody that we're seeing. Here's the move from Eris. Take us through this here, Dave, for a sec, please.
So actually, at one point, I thought this would be enough, to tell you the truth. It was a well-played power-up, using that ghost there, establishing this gap. And then it looked like he's making over 10 watts per kilo right here in the German, looked to be really on a roll. But we've talked about timing and Zwiftcraft, and a little luck goes a long way as well, and having the right power-up there. The feather power-up, reducing your weight. It was definitely the power-up to have for the finale, Nathan. And that's going to be the Rhino, Alex Spratt. They say the most dangerous place to be on the planet Earth is between a rhino and the river. And that's exactly where Eras found himself.
This is where he was. I love that.
Yeah.
There's the river in the volcano.
Lava river.
I love that.
So that's a command performance, though, Nathan. And and he's going to eke out of a fast group a couple extra seconds. So finding a delta there over the other riders. So as Nathan showed us, you can go on ZwiftPower, and it's really easy to find the results here. And we'll have a lot more racing out here over the rest of this week. As this course, it's 21K race Watopia Volcano Circuit counterclockwise. It's going to be definitely very, very active this week.
Quickly, Dave, we were able to find our D category out here. So real quick, we'll get that finish up here. The TBR, big ring. The big ring on the front here. Nice little kick similar to what we saw from Spratt. It's going to be AP Lago. NG, our NTS boys, not too serious, is right on his wheel. Can NG come through with it? We'll see. I think he's going to make it happen. Nice to see NTS also in there. A little bit of move from NTS, going to be neck and neck behind the big ring, and not too serious. The big ring, maybe over the top, it looks like, perhaps. NG's got some steering going on, unable to grab onto the wheel, so it looks like he's going to get away with this one. Melgren from SCR right behind for third place in the D category. A little bit more separation in the Ds than we saw in the rest of them. That's your top five. BB across the line. Mauser's there from SCRP. Ballmer as well as KD Vet. And an a Galaxy Rider, I think that is actually coming across the line. Lots of sprints to the line here in this D category. D's had a good 84 riders, it looks like, that jumped in, maybe a little bit more than that. So also a huge pack in amongst that D category.
Really quick for our Ds.
Is it yeah? So what's the current race Watopia across these? That's a good question, actually.
I'm gonna go take a look here.
I'd really like to know. I don't know if we can separate them out by.
No, unfortunately, I can just see that Jarle Marovic has
events.
after.
Maybe events, team standings. I'm trying to see if there's a way to actually separate them out in that. I'm not seeing it though. Not seeing it. Maybe chat can help us out with that. We should know that one if there was, but we don't.
Yeah, we should.
So, sorry about that, everybody.
Well, fun. Great racing out here. Sets the standard for the week, everybody. We see more of our D riders finishing. Let's go ahead and run through some of the results. We watch them today, but it was good to know they had a quality field out there, as it's going to be Dot Red of the Beast making 4.4 watts per kilo over 28 minutes and 23 seconds to be the fastest time, getting a couple seconds over John Vanner, the legend there. Second place today for ESRT. Jimmy Kershaw is going to come through collecting the bronze cup. And third place, Torbjorn Toby Bergstad in fourth. Big Dog DPR rider in fifth today. It's going to be Gormir Jelnin, of DPR also there in sixth. Palle Selander in sixth for Swedish Swifters, in seventh. Eighth for Martin Sunderland. He's with the ESRT team, as is at Broberg in ninth, and then Jason Oros in 10th today for our A's.
And then in the B category, just a quick reminder, we got an announcement today, everybody. Don't go anywhere. I know we do lose viewership a little bit as the results come in. Don't go anywhere. We got an announcement coming in. It already went out on our Instagram. It's going up on the website, and it's actually already out on the website.
Exciting.
We're going to let everybody know about something really cool for North America in just a moment here. But B category, it's going to be Espen Schuh coming on through. And we saw that sprint. Nicely done there to the line 28:43. Patrick Molinari, followed up by Johan Vesterberg. Martin Oscarsson and Aaron Self. That then followed up by P.A. Pearson, Steve Stellings, Connie Bjornhall, Gigi Teffy, and Frank Cleric. Is that so? Shu, he was the first one across the line. Nicely done.
Correct.
4.0. Very, very nice. Spratt, I think, impressed me so much I almost forgot. Sorry about that, Stu. I was like, the kick there from Spratt was like, what just happened? But he also had a nicely timed kick to the line over the top. So it was that he rolled in speed, burrito powered up into the uphill, and he was able to carry that momentum through that uphill there. Espen Schuh. So nice job to the Vikings in the C category.
Well, this was really enjoyable to watch. Alex, keep up your momentum. Alex Spratt, the Rhino, taking the win. Edis, man, you're going to have your day. No question in second. And then Ali Arboom in third today. Cohn for CTC taking fourth. You can see that it was a group, well, not really a group finish because a few riders on that 311. And then it's going to be Danny C for TVR Link in fifth. Sixth place going to Richard Da Silva of MDCC. Seventh is IDC Rankin. Eighth place is Chisholm McDonald. Christian J of the Arctic Zwifter on YT. Kaboom in ninth. And then Claude Lebeau of ITCA rounds out our top 10 for the C's today out here for Race Watopia, going counterclockwise.
You know what I like is when we get to hang out with one rider, like after their ride or during their ride. Hudson's out here finishing up his Tour Watopia ride, 75th place, just hanging out. And he's our background for the Galaxy's getting some extra airtime here. Go Galaxy. Here we go. Absolutely love it in the background there.
Great
the
team.
Categories. Yeah, it is an awesome team. Dave, I'm just going to say it out loud here. How would you pronounce that first name?
Okay. So that's going to be Basque, and it would be Zucchi, I believe.
Zucchi. Zucchi.
Yeah, that's my guess. And you know what? Please, this is where when we ask the community, Nathan, how long did we talk before the broadcast about accountability and liking to be corrected if you're wrong? You know what I mean? Both of us were. Yeah. So if I'm wrong,
talking about how wrong we were about something somewhere.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure from my, Yuskatel Basque experience, that's Jushi Fernandez Sanchez. But again, tell me if I'm wrong, please.
100%. Well, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. So it's going to be William NG there from Not Too Serious with the 33.35. Now, looking at the watts per kilogram across this here, though, Zucchi Fernandez Sanchez, I think, may end up with a little bit of an nudge to upgrade. If you average 4.1 for over 30 minutes, it's time. It's definitely a different category time. But good job to you out there, Zucchi. It's going to be Pedro AP Alago. So this was the actual battle for first and second, I think, behind here. And that's what we caught. Zucchi was off the front so far that we didn't even see him. Johan Melgren there in fourth place, followed up by Trond Samstad in fifth. Jan Niklas Zepka in 6th place. BB from the NTS also is there in 7th. It's going to be Alex Malzer from SERP in 8th. Elaine Balmer in 9th, and then it's going to be Kevin Devet. That is your top 10 in the D category. Well, everybody, we got a cool announcement, and we also do have a article up over on ZwiftCommunityLive.com. If you didn't know, we have a website. You can find all the broadcasts. You can find all the latest information on what's happening for the week. A lot of times over there as well. We'll be getting our post for this week as well as the following weeks for the interim between Zwift Racing League. You also find information on the Zwift Grand Prix there as well. So we've got a lot of stuff, all things esports when it comes to Zwift over at Zwift Community Live. And speaking of all things esports, something pretty cool. The U.S. Cycling Esports National Championships is coming back to Zwift. It's going to be put on by Echelon Racing Promotions. And it is returning to Zwift, and we are doing the broadcasts of a 6-race series. The first 3 of them will be used as qualifiers, the first 3 races, and then a national championships that will be taking place in January. Dave, what are you thinking here?
Well, I'm incredibly appreciative of Eric and Frank and what Project Echelon has been doing through the years. You can see that they say educate, equip, and empower. They have done more for veterans than anybody else in this space, the cycling space. I mean, really have moved the needle. So they're professionals, really excited to be involved with them. And I can't wait. I really feel like, Nathan, this is going to, for a lot of folks in this space, we're going to really find what we were looking for a national championship that brought all of the best riders together. And hopefully someday we'll be able to add Canada too. But for right now, it's good to get this nailed down with the United States. USA Cycling working really, really hard to grow this sport. There's no doubt that esports has a tremendous amount of growth ahead of it. And I'm glad they're involved. I really am.
Yeah, and if you do want more information, again, head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com. We do have a post with all the information on over there. You can also find information with Echelon Racing League. They do have a website you can head over to that's linked in the post over here. And as we said, all the news when it comes to esports, head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com for the latest on everything that we are covering. And as you speak about Canada, well, just maybe everybody be patient. We'll see what happens there. So, thanks everybody for tuning in.
I'm going to add Mexico.
Okay, well, that's too. The next one. You know, you got to contact Dave. So we'll see what happens with Mexico. I could definitely say there's a maybe on Canada, but we'll see what happens.
I feel like we're playing Zwift Risk, right? We're going to start slowly moving around the world until we have every
Dave, I do want to say though, what you said about Echelon Racing Promotions and like what they did with virtual cycling during the pandemic, and that it brought in some of the largest in real life cycling events into virtual world for as well as the riders and the racers that were a part of those events. So you saw some of the biggest broadcasts that we'd have where in real life cycling for North America met the virtual world cycling on Zwift during 2020. And so I feel like there's a coming together, some pieces of the puzzle coming together in this space in watching these partnerships, form around Zwift with what Echelon Racing Promotions, North American Cycling, national championships. I do feel like this is a great step forward right now. And I'm really excited about it, honestly.
100%, Nathan. There is no doubt this is a positive move for everybody involved. So yeah, and I just love what Eric has done. The team that they have, it's one of the classiest groups of people that I've ever met. And on that note, it's great to just bring the whole family together on Zwift. That's for sure.
Totally. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. The schedule for Tuesdays is just getting solidified for the interim, but we will be back tomorrow. I'll get those posts up ASAP. Otherwise, tune in for SCR on Wednesday. Zwift Grand Prix is going to be on Zwift channels on Thursday. So make sure to check that out. And then, of course, the wrap on Thursday night. So we've got a big week ahead of us, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you tomorrow for a top secret stream that still needs to be scheduled. And
it's so good we can't even tell you.
It's so good
Believe
we
me.
can't tell you yet. Yeah, 100%. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you soon from Dave and I, as always. Right on.